Howdy friends, Tadas here with Insomniac next door. If you're just joining me, I've had insomnia for 5 years, but for the past 2 years it's been getting better every month. And because I was able to find the root cause and experiment with lots of tons of supplements. So if you one of the people that has tried every calming supplement on the planet Earth, and but it had virtually no effect on your insomnia, if you're answering yes, then you probably tried things that are sold over the counter, like valerian, skullcap, L-theanine, GABA, magnesium, 5-HTP, glycine, passion flower, hops, chamomile, so many different things out there. If you have tried them but they had virtually no effect on you, then your root cause is hiding elsewhere. And stay with me here today for a few minutes, and we'll be able to go over some of the my discoveries, and let's talk about why this is happening. So the reason I often refer to Eastern medicine is because I believe that they believe that the whole body is greater, that the whole is greater than the sum of all parts. And if this is not, if the body is not balances, and then it provides a fertile ground for the illnesses and disease to take place. And in order to appreciate this better and improve my sleep over the years, I had to self-educate on a ton of things. So one of the first and most important things is helpful to understand that our body is a 24-hour balancing act, and you're programmed basically to survive an interchanging internal and external environment. So, for example, you're eating and enjoying a movie, but what is really happening that at the very same moment? Your body is performing a complex set of procedures to digest, regulate temperature, blood pressure, balance out the pH and sugars, regenerate muscles, detox, hundreds of other functions, all at the same time. Meanwhile, oblivious to all this, we're just sitting there, relaxing on the sofa and enjoying TV, right? So one of the things that plays a part in the balanced sleep are, you've probably heard many times already, are so-called neurotransmitters, right? And hormones, of course. So a few things about neurotransmitters, just to lay the ground and to lay the correct understanding on what to base this understanding of why some of these supplements do not work. So neurotransmitters are key messengers in your brain and nervous system that carry messages between your nerve cells and your body and influence these functions like sleep, moods, digestion, and even sex. So most sleep aids address imbalances in these neurotransmitters, but to know how they work, it is helpful to understand a few basics about some of them. So there are excitatory neurotransmitters and that excite the neurons, and the inhibitory types that basically inhibit the neurons, making them less active, so to speak. So neurotransmitter activity can be influenced by drugs, disease, and interaction with other chemical messengers. Inhibitory neurotransmitters, and some of them you heard as GABA, serotonin, and these are the two main ones. And GABA, it acts as a brake basically to other excitatory neurotransmitters. And GABA has wide distribution in the brain, has major role in reducing neural excitability throughout the nervous system. This is what all of these calming supplements that you've been taking listed before, basically what it addresses. And serotonin is involved in balancing excessive excitatory neurotransmitters that affect your brain. Serotonin also regulates processes such as sleep cycle, carbohydrate cravings, food digestion, pain control, and some of the supplements that you might have tried that target serotonin are things like melatonin, 5-HTP, L-tryptophan, SAMe, and vitamins, minerals like B6, B12, vitamin C, D, and so on. So as you see, you might have been taking supplements that address these particular neurotransmitters, especially GABA and serotonin. So why these may not work now, right? I mean, now you understand that there's neurotransmitters and there are supplements that affect these neurotransmitters. So if you take the supplements, you affect the neurotransmitters, but there is no effect, or the effect is not enough for you to sleep through the night, right? Why could this be? So a simple point is, and the main point that I'm trying to communicate in this video, that many chronic insomniacs, including myself, suffer from many other imbalances that have nothing to do with neurotransmitters. So when we take, it's like taking a headache medicine when you actually have like a digestion issue, right? I mean, you're not taking the right medicine to address the correct cause. So supplementing with GABA supplements like L-theanine and passion flower and all those things that I mentioned do nothing more to calm your nerves while you're just, you're just calmer, but you're still lying there awake through the night, having no clue what the heck is going on with you, right? You've probably experienced this if you're watching this video this far. So the brain calming supplements are nothing more than, I call it like pushing the beach ball under the water, right? And you always have to keep pushing it down, but the stronger underlying causes will eventually make it pop out of the water into the surface, meaning that you can try to calm the nervous system of the brain, but if you have hormonal imbalances or something else going on with your liver, digestion, brain, and so on, it will supersede whatever you're trying to do with the neurotransmitters. So the people that basically that do not derive any benefit from GABA supplements, they need a whole different approach to take care of and address their insomnia patterns, and can benefit much more from things like balancing one's insulin levels and hormones and reducing inflammation and addressing detox and methylation pathways, and test for stealthy viral infections and many other conditions. So, for example, fluctuations in thyroid, testosterone, cortisol, progesterone, and growth hormone can all cause insane sleep issues and insomnia. So in women especially, for example, sleep problems are often caused by either too much estrogen or too little progesterone. If these issues are not addressed in time, they can spiral into more serious and vicious cycle. They can further cause hormonal balances, including things like adrenal fatigue and hypothyroidism and etc., etc. So basically, my main point and advice today is the key thing to realize that's something that it took me years really to realize, that our body is a complex, incredibly complex and amazing machine. And many of us have no clue how to fix our sleep issues because we only try to address the issue with supplements in the fashion of like plugging the holes in a sinking ship, right? We're thinking, I'm like anxious, or I feel alert, therefore I should keep, suppressed and try to, make myself calmer, and hopefully that will take care of it. But meaning we try to suppress the symptom only, because that is what our doctors, and with all due respect, are mostly trained to do. All right, they give us medicine for symptoms. Here's something that will suppress that. Here's something that will kind of hide that, and so on. But in the meanwhile, we're struggling over the years, completely oblivious to what's really causing the issue, so to speak. So because of that, prescription meds make situations even worse and only mask the problem, right? So sometimes we get lucky and a small deficiency can be addressed with some of these supplements that we mentioned. This is where all these rave reviews come from on shopping platforms like, oh, you know, this melatonin really helped and took care of my, or, you know, my sleep issues. Magnesium was wonderful. L-theanine really makes me sleep through the night. And we're like drooling there, like, how come this is not working for me? You know, I'm wide awake. But basically, for most of us, we need a complete evaluation of the entire body and lifestyle. So this includes like genetic testing, some of the things that are recommended before, vitamin and mineral analysis, already mentioned viral bacterial infections, check your blood sugar levels, heavy metals test. It's like a long story for me, but that was my root cause, heavy metals like mercury, and organ function. And you know, you have to test for a few more depending on what the nature of your symptoms are. You really have to look into that on a deeper level. And summary, sleep aids may enhance your sleep quality to a certain extent, and sometimes they're very helpful, especially to get through a very tough period. So, okay, you may not be able to sleep through the entire night, but you may sleep a little longer. So I'm definitely not knocking these GABA supplements. I use them myself to fine-tune my sleep and so on, especially when I need it. But I'm only here today to say, look, don't rely on them. If you're doing this for a long time and they're not working, look deeper, okay? So, because they will not resolve your insomnia. And the latter must be addressed, the insomnia, by lifestyle, routine, diet, balancing the hormones, supporting the organs, detoxing if you have to, and anything that will address the root cause of the imbalance that I mentioned in the beginning, right? So be smart. It takes time to become your own doctor and get well, but that's why some of my videos are so long, because there's no easy solution to these things. This is a complicated matter. But you know what? I figured it out, and I know you can. You just have to don't listen to these people and the doctors that say just take antidepressants and you know it will go away. Always wake up, recharge, you know, to keep up a positive outlook, and always dig for answers as far as you can. Watch through some of my videos and you'll find it. You'll find your cause and you'll sleep better. I promise you. Okay. So be well for now. And sorry, I know sometimes I kind of speak fast here, but all of this thing that I mentioned here is on my blog, Insomniac Next Door. I put the link on the bottom. You can always go back and review this whole thing and the whole video. And take care. Drop me a note if you have any questions. Bye.